this later, just so you know.
What? Is this because of the Eddie situation?
No, I'm at a board meeting at work.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Whenever
I
you're
love
ready.
you.
I love you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Waiting for Andrew, and he just
Hey,
entered the call. Sorry, I
oh,
was
you're all good, man.
I was freestyling till you got in here.
Oh, gotcha.
Abigail
Shit.
is a little bit out. She's in a board meeting call.
Hey, yeah, I got that. Okay.
Oh, did I
Uh,
interrupt something? Little nappy time. Am I muted? Hello? What the heck? What just happened? Why is my mute? Why is my microphone muted? What the Hulk? Yeah, so it's connected, and I have audio, I'm assuming. There it is. I have audio. Hello? Well, I guess check settings here, right? Like, just to make sure. Testing. Yeah, my microphone's working fine. Stop looking at my shit, you know? Damn. Rude as hell. No. Everything muted for some reason. My end is good except for chat. No. I have an idea. Let's try this. You can schedule a room. How about for now? Oh,
that was really weird.
hello. What was that?
Hello. I don't know. It usually happens at the beginning of every call
I've never
with
had
the
my
chat thing.
mic muted
Oh,
only in Facebook chat.
wait, muted. Everything was only muted.
No, so like the only thing that got muted was our chat. I checked all my other audio settings. Everything was good. My microphone, my headphones, everything was good except for Facebook chat.
Gotcha.
Facebook heard us say the N word and they were like, no, shut this conversation down.
I don't know. I heard that Facebook married Google and now they're all just controlling everything that we say and do. So,
That happened years ago. The newest news is that Facebook admitted that they were like, yeah, no, we're basically working with the FBI.
oh, dang. Nice.
Yeah, that's Mark Zuckerberg that admitted that on a podcast, an open forum, conversational podcast. It wasn't an announcement.
Gotcha.
So, how's your day? Sorry. And it happened again. What the flacking heck? Okay. All right, Mark. I see what you're doing. Come at me. I'll rejoin this call 1,000 times. We could move.
Shit, what
We
the
could move to
hell?
Slack.
Was that you this time?
No, no, that was
Jeez.
actually
Okay.
Mark.
Okay. Well, I was saying, maybe I'm going to get kicked now, that there's this YouTube censorship thing going on.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I guess there's always YouTube censorship going on. But this particular group was dealing with censorship because they said something like vaccines were not the cure. No, yeah, vaccines weren't the cure.
Okay.
Or not the cure. I don't
Did
know.
they say
They
vaccines
said
weren't the cure, or did they just question whether vaccines were the cure?
I don't remember. I just remember it was something about like vaccines weren't the cure or whatever, and so they got uh, either kicked.
No. Holy fucking shit! You got to be kidding me! I don't know what's happening, so I'm leaving the game. Fucking Christ. This is absolutely fucking insane. Where's Slack? Why don't I have Slack? There we are. I have a Slack shortcut. Don't worry. Oh my gosh.
What
Oh
the heck?
my gosh.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm pretty much over Facebook. If you want to do Slack or Discord, I'm down, but I think I'm done with Facebook.
Well, if this is what they really are doing,
Oh,
seriously.
and you know what's horrifying is I know for a fact I have 5 or 6 different apps that are directly connected to Facebook. So I can't actually be over it.
Oh,
I can only
yeah.
separate myself from it so much.
Yeah. Jeez. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty annoying, right?
Yeah. All right. What were you saying?
Hold on a second. Let me just get my headphones in.
Oh, I
onto
don't know if
the-
I should. Maybe if I.
Just because you're pretty loud and I don't want to.
Oh, I can turn myself down. I think. How about that?
You're fine. I prefer to have you in here. All right, are you in here?
Yep. Wait.
You're still out there.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you're out there. Wait, talk now.
Hello. Testing. 1, 2. Testing. Testing.
Talk.
Aquí
There it
vamos,
is.
way.
That's the right one. All right. So what was I saying? Something about
Talking shit on Facebook. Can I show your name and
no.
the logo on stream?
Yeah. I allow it.
I don't like. I won't if you don't want me to.
No, I don't mind. Show it. Show away, man. More
Anyway.
advertising for me. I have no idea what's going on in Ohio, by the way, but my website gets traffic from the U.S. occasionally, and when it
Yeah.
does, it's in
It's
Ohio.
all Ohio,
And
really?
like yesterday, my phone just buzzed right off the table, and when I checked, there were like 6 people getting on at the same time from Ohio, and I'm thinking, what the heck? Like, what
It's
is happening?
it's our alter egos, our family's alter egos, all 6 of them wake up, they're Mormon, and they get on and they're like, change the world? I'd like to do that.
Jeez. Well, and it's just so bizarre to me, right? I we finally are up, right? Like if you type in change the world schools.
Yeah.
If you type it, we'll not only get a Google Maps, but now we're like one of the first websites that we are the first website for me. I've checked it under a couple guises, and I don't know if it's just because of my location, but as far as everyone else goes, when you write Change the World Schools, the first website is our website. So
Wait,
anyway,
for real?
I mean, you can try it. Maybe
I'm
it's
checking
just
it.
the
No, I'm checking it.
location, right? All right, cool. It's
How do
funny
you
too because
spell
Mama,
the?
really?
Sorry, just kidding.
Okay, cool.
You know I can't take anything seriously.
Okay, I like, do I take him seriously right now, or do
Wait, ctwschools.com?
That's our website, yeah.
Yeah, you're number 1.
But yeah.
Awesome.
So, right? Oh, look at that. Someone from Ohio. No, I'm just kidding. Now we're in the right place.
That would be great.
Oh man.
It's
Right?
just like
And then,
every American is routed through Ohio to you.
right, or not even every American, just every Washingtonian, right?
Right.
And they're like, oh, I guess we got it wrong. Ohio isn't Washington.
So that it's like the old
Uh,
school switchboard operator, and she's like, Washington. I don't know. It sounds like an Ohio residence.
right, yeah. Let's just go with it. Jeez. Anyway, yeah. So ever since then, we've gotten more organic traffic because now we're getting about 2,500 views per month in the website, right?
Nice.
So yeah, so then it's cool because you get Americans. I mean, they don't do anything because we're not starting a school over there, but still, it's nice to get that organic
Should.
traffic. But then it seems to be Ohio. So
It kind of feels like, and I know that we won't know this for another generation, but it kind of feels like America is the most desperate for education right now. And we don't think we are. We think we're the best.
yeah, and I do know that. I know that's the case, right? It's
Right.
just
So
I don't know.
I'm not saying that to pressure you. I'm only saying that to pressure you.
Right? Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. No, it's all good because I really do. Like I started thinking seriously. I told you about this, but starting to think seriously about, simultaneously doing, firsts at the same time. So, the first year or two, I'll definitely just start here in Sofia, but then,
Yeah.
starting a school over there, starting a school in Brazil or I don't know the Middle East or something
Right.
like. The next schools that are coming will happen simultaneously and they'll happen on other continents because the way you're going to have to deal with American culture and American policies and stuff like that is going to be so different from the way you deal with stuff here in Europe versus
Absolutely.
the Middle East, for example, right? So yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
I think I'll just focus on my part of it, not think about the rest of it. Because when I do, I get stressed.
Yeah, no, don't worry. That's my job is to do the vision part. So, this is even what Arlen told me because I was talking to him about this, right? I was trying to figure out stuff, and I was telling him about my, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be a teacher and stuff like that, and he was saying that because my goal is to like build like 10,000 schools, then that's going to be my job. It's like visionary of expansion. I can't
Yeah.
be worrying about the micromanaging of stuff or whatever. So it's like, okay, cool. I can do that. So
But I think also part of it is you creating a vision that like-minded people can latch onto. So you're not just hiring minimum wage, just coming to work every day
yeah,
just for the
exactly.
job people.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it has to be that way because if there's going to be any significant expansion in my lifetime, at least, it can't happen. Um, it can't happen by me hiring minimum wage people to be in my wake kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they have to be on board with the philosophy, with the vision. They have to be excited about it because it's not a vision.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to someone, it's not a vision that's supposed to help me become popular, help me become
No.
something. It's a vision to help people
You're a
in
catalyst
the world.
to propel the
Right.
world forward in the right way and not just
Right.
in a way.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And this isn't like I don't know how you look at it, but I see it as because I'm Christian, I see it as this is you are charged by God to make the world better.
Right. Yep.
So
Yep.
I
And that's
don't know.
it. It's exactly it. So anyway, it's funny. I was looking, I was categorizing because I was listening to these guys on YouTube called Redacted. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Mm-mm. I'll look them up.
Okay, so they're I mean, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're very Republican, very conservative, right?
Ugh,
Yeah, no, I know.
I hate
So you probably
Republicans.
would love them,
You know
right?
what you know the only thing that's worse than a Republican?
Tell me.
A goddamn Democrat. Sorry.
Right? Okay, I was gonna say like two of them. Like,
No. All right.
oh
Sorry.
my gosh, no, because okay, so they get on. The reason I was drawn to them is because they're talking how they're neutral, right?
What
They're
was the name
neutral
again?
parties, right? Redacted. I'll type it. Where can I type it? I have no way to type it.
We all want to be informed. Our constitutional right to know should not be.
There you go. That's it.
All right. Well, a new study,
Cool.
I'll pause that.
That is so cool. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's something like that, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, they had come up with this whole, or there was something that was like independent, they're independent and stuff like that. So then they're like, so I was drawn to them because I was looking for an independent group in America because as much fun as it is to hear um, German news and Indian news, it'd be cool to see an independent newscast from the States. So
Yeah.
anyway, I was listening to them, and the beginning part was something European, and I was like, okay, all right, interesting. This is the way that Americans view the war and stuff like that over here, and that was really what I was trying to get. I was trying to get an American vibe off of this war because if we do if Europe gets dragged into a war with Russia, it is going to take all the voices of the people to be on board, in America.
Yeah.
Otherwise, America's gonna, if there's enough Americans, because there are a lot of Americans that say this, that Europe's war is not our war, and who needs NATO anyway?
Yeah,
Fuck 'em.
it'll be the same thing as World War I and World War II. We don't show up until the very
Exactly.
end, and we don't really save
Yeah.
anybody.
Right, and then we abandon the whole NATO concept, which means that even if Putin loses his war, he still wins because
Yeah.
he proves how much of a swish-swashy kind of people we are, which is.
But at least we
so
can write in
anyway.
the history books we did some good. Teach it to the kids, boys.
We do. We teach it to the kids. Well, not everyone else does, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
so I was trying to listen to them, and then after they were done with that, then they were like, "Now we're just trying to deliver the news, nothing more, nothing less. We're not, Republicans. We're not Democrats. So have you heard about this asshole Joe Biden? How amazing Trump is?" And I'm like, "Oh shit! Come on,
Oh,
you didn't
okay.
even, hide that like for 3 seconds." Anyway, it's fine, right? So I've come to this. Democrats, they're just straight up idiots, right?
Mhm.
they come up with these weird transgender things, and let's be accepting of
They're
everyone
they're
to the point where they
submissive
just
idiots. Oh, I'll do
yeah
whatever
they
you
like stick
want.
their right they stick their head in the water, and even though they feel their lungs filling up with water, they're like, well, it's good for us, so let's
At
keep on
least I'm
breathing.
saving the
So
dolphins or whatever shit.
right,
And
right.
then
So
Republicans?
Democrats are there, Republicans straight up denial, just straight up denial, like everything
Yeah,
they're in
okay,
denial.
but it's
The
arrogant. It's like, no, I don't. No, no, it's not. Climate change? No, climate change. There's no such thing. Get out of my face.
what?
I haven't
What?
seen it. I haven't felt it. So why would it?
Exactly. I'm not Republican. Okay.
I'm not
No,
Republican.
no. There
I'm
is no
liberal.
global change.
I'm
No,
centrist.
I'm liberal.
I'm MAGA. I'm
Oh man,
centrist.
come on, guys. Jeez.
That's so true. Oh, it's so
Right.
true.
And I was like, oh man, because I can't stand, like, when I listen to the bullshit that extreme leftists say, I get frustrated with it, right? But then it's like I'm listening to these conservatives talking, and I'm like, why do I get so frustrated with them? And
What?
then it's like they'll say stuff, and then they'll say, now I'm not and it's like,
Yeah, but you're about to
okay,
say what all the other
yeah,
ones
but
are
you actually
saying.
right,
You're
exactly. So just
you're about to remind me how Joe Biden fell off a bike. Oh no, Democrats suck because Joe Biden fell. What are you talking about?
right, if you want to be taken seriously, come on, just
Honestly,
oh my gosh.
honestly, and
Anyways,
it's literally every single Republican source that I've followed. It's
mhm,
the election was stolen. Joe Biden's son Hunter Biden did crack. He showed his
right,
penis. Kamala Harris sucks. The Trump got invaded. And it's just the same dumb shit over and
yeah,
over
yeah,
and over again. I'm so
yeah.
sick of
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Like,
Seriously,
I am
exactly.
actually burying my head in the sand to stop hearing the echo chambers of everyone just
Yeah,
bouncing off of everyone.
yeah. No, and it is because I mean, in the end, I ended up going back to the Indian newscast because it's like I I can't get a decent feel. All I can hear is this guy is reacting to something that some Democrat said somewhere, and that's it. That's the reaction I'm getting. I'm not getting a genuine. This is what American people think about the war, and because of the right now this is a big issue in Europe because Germany is and France, which are the wealthy nations,
Hmm.
right? But they are freaking out because they're going to have to turn off all their lights, like the Eiffel
Yeah, they're
Tower
going through
lights
a
at
real
night.
power crisis.
Right. Power crisis in Poland. There are people lined up to buy coal at coal plants. Like they're not even waiting for
Holy
them to hit.
shit!
Right. I mean, it's
Seriously?
just like yeah, like it's incredible. People are freaking out here because we might actually like there's the whole freeze. There actually might be a freeze, right? Where people are freezing because they can't afford to stay warm in their own homes, right?
Yeah,
Like that's a real thing now.
yeah.
And so then it's like, okay, well, we're fighting this, and the reason that we're trying to stay together is because like if someone cracks, if Germany is finally like, all right, well, our people don't like this, so we're going to start buying Russian oil again, or Ukraine, good luck,
Yeah.
or whatever, or
This.
America doesn't, because America's supposed to be sending over oil and coal, right? It's not the
Oh
most
yeah.
efficient way, but
No,
you guys are supposed to be sending
we should be
stuff
producing
over.
oil for other people and ourselves. Like this
Well,
shouldn't
yeah,
be a problem for us right now.
right, and it isn't. Like it isn't for you guys, and
No, not
if you
for
look at the
us,
gas,
but the regulations we set create waves for other countries. We aren't
oh yeah,
allowed to produce
yeah,
oil, so now you don't get oil. It
right. Yeah, which actually this has opened up so many different like I'm totally environmentalism, right? I do believe there's a global,
totally,
issue, right? Okay, and so
absolutely, shit is
um
changing.
and
We
so I'm
need to make moves, but that doesn't mean just shutting stuff down.
Well, and that's what this is revealed. I didn't realize that. I thought that like France is on this cutting edge of, the green initiative and stuff like that, and all it meant was they were shutting down things. They weren't necessarily transferring. They were just buying all their oil from Russia,
Right.
so then they could claim we're not an oil producing country. And that's true, but
Right.
you're still eating the oil, right? That kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So I was just super frustrated. So then, the green initiative, like I'm all for it, but then all those green peacekeeping lovey whatever, I'm going to call them Democrats, but liberals, let's say,
Hippies.
in America,
Sorry.
they're like, no, we should not be pulling oil out of Texas and Alaska
Yeah.
because that's not healthy. And it's like,
Yo,
okay,
fracking
yeah,
is
no,
bad for the earth. Yeah. No, we all
Right,
we
I
all
get
are
it.
on board with that. But
Right,
we
and I'm
also
like,
have to
I'm
live.
more like, right, I'm like more pro. Let's not let our European allies freeze to death. How about that?
Right.
And then we can worry about this crisis where we all decided that Russia and China are going to be the bad guys destroying the planet while we just took
Right.
their, oil or whatever.
This
And
is what's
so it's
insane
like,
to me is that the same people that are saying that fracking is bad are also saying that nuclear energy is bad, right? And
right,
and here's
right,
another thing. The way they got me on board with solar energy and wind powered like natural energy is
yeah,
this I can't remember his name, but he developed a basically a nuclear power plant that ran on solar power, but it was so powerful the way he designed it, it could run New York City for a year. And
gotcha.
and all they had to do was build it in the desert where no one builds anything. So
Right,
they got
right,
me on
right,
board with that, but then they never pushed it. They never went for it. What is
right.
Okay, so you either build nuclear power plants so we can actually charge our electric cars and not ruin the earth, or do
Right,
the desert thing. Do something other
right,
than just take away
yeah,
what I have.
right, yeah. No, and the nuclear thing, that, I mean, I know that, okay, after Japan's issue with their nuclear power plant,
Japan and
then like
Chernobyl.
that was way, that was during the Soviet Union, and that was a lot to do
Was
with
that way
Soviet
before?
Unions. Yeah, it was in 1985 or 87. It was like when we
Oh,
were being born. So,
okay, so
but
tell me what
dur-
happened in Japan, because are you talking about the nuclear bombs?
no, I'm talking about so they had a nuclear power plant, then there was a tsunami, and because of the
Oh,
earthquake, that caused huge
right,
problems and it caused a meltdown, and there's parts of
right,
Japan that are still uninhabitable because of this radiation that happened, right? It
right.
was awful. And I think that was 2000, I want to say 2010, 2011,
All right, so my
but I'm not sure.
question now is, was the earthquake, the tsunami, obviously, it's unavoidable. Like, you need power there, and it's so small, you're going to get hit by a tsunami, and it's going to get hit. But the earthquake,
hmm
was it built on a
hmm
fault line? Did they take that
Well,
into consideration when they built it?
all of Japan is a fault line, right?
Right. So maybe build nuclear power plants out in the ocean, away from fault lines. No, I know, expensive, right? Right, expensive, but
Expensive.
also safe.
I know possible, man. But I mean, I like your innovation. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm laughing
Wait,
here.
wait,
I'm
no, I know
running
you're
from
laughing.
old schools. So
I'm,
I
I'm,
shouldn't. I
I'm.
shouldn't. Okay, I'm sorry.
All
I
right, no,
apologize.
okay. I'm seeing the differences between an oil rig and a power plant. There's concrete.
Cool.
There's. All right, no. Now that I think about it.
Building. Like, you know what? No, let's just build a fucking
Well,
one in the
just
middle of the ocean.
just put it in
Okay?
the ocean. What's wrong with you people? You just put it in the ocean, you idiots.
I'm sorry.
Solved it.
No, but I'm laughing at you. But they do that. I mean, what is it? Indonesia? They build artificial islands. So I mean, as far fetched as that might sound, maybe it's not so far fetched. I know there's issues with like moving electricity. Like you can't
Right.
build solar farms in Africa and then just put a giant power line down
Oh.
in Europe and say, all right, we're
Oh.
gonna power it, right?
I'm solving all of the world's problems right now in this podcast, video, whatever it is, right now.
Okay.
We focus our research on ocean construction. We figure out how to make it the easiest and cheapest so that we can start building homes, we can start building power plants, we can build wind farms. You know how fast the wind blows in the ocean?
It's true.
I'm
It's true,
solving
actually.
the world's
Uh,
problems right
not
now.
not even that. What do you call those things? Those turbine? Because I know they have invented them. Like they collect energy from the waves, right? The back and
Yeah.
forth motion. They
Yeah,
do have that. I
using the
wonder how much
tides.
energy that produces.
Dude,
So,
I have
hmm,
a broken nose that says it produces a fudge load of energy.
okay, there you go. Well, okay, the whole point of what I was saying that for, the
Right.
whole Japanese crisis, after that, Germany, because they're kind of like the EU leader, they were saying, all right, we need to start shutting down our nuclear power plants. So everyone across Europe was sort of pressured to do that. Bulgaria, I believe, has like 3 nuclear power plants, something like that. So slowly over time, they've been shutting down all their nuclear power plants. And as the last ones are going off in France and Germany, now they're like, huh, maybe we should turn them back on.
Why
But
would
then the cost of turning them back on is so expensive. But it was all
right?
because they were worried that the same Japanese kind of thing would happen. And now, especially with this stuff going on, Finland is even built. I think I told you this underground system, and it goes like it's like they designed it perfectly. It's not too deep that you're going to hit the mantle, but it's still
Right.
like 7 kilometers down, and it's designed
Wait,
so
the
that
mantle's like 10 kilometers, right?
the mantle is like 20 kilometers.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like
I thought they were like
they're
edging. They were like
oh yeah,
right
no,
at the edge.
they they were like
Whew.
halfway down, right?
Okay.
Halfway down. They're not even close to being on a fault line, and and then the whole tunnel system is completely surrounded in lead, and so then the idea is that they're telling Europe, we'll take all of your nuclear waste, and so then they take the nuclear waste, they put it into the end of a hull, and then they block it with lead, and then they
Whoa.
keep adding nuclear waste, and basically they found a way that's the completely safest way for the nuclear waste to
Yeah.
completely stabilize in 10,000 years or
Yeah.
whatever, and not hurt anyone. So it's like it's amazing the system they've come up with, and to prove how oh, I love this. The Finnish people are like half form of Europeans, like let's help, half form Americans, like fuck you, we're better than anyone else kind of thing, because they built
We
the
don't like
system
your woke
right on
culture.
they built it right underneath a town, right? And they've told everyone about the town, and I mean they're just like they're just like, we're trying to prove to you how safe we know it is. We're gonna have
Please,
people just live on top of the nuclear waste, right?
please tell me they called it Nuketown. Please tell me they
Oh
called it
no,
Nuketown.
man, that would have been amazing, right?
Missed
Nah,
opportunity.
Nuke Shit Town, that would have been better, right? I'm
Shit
just saying.
town.
Oh man,
Oh shit, we
jeez,
shit on Nukestown.
we shit on Nuke Town. Oh my goodness, what is
Okay,
the name?
2 things.
Oh,
How long I understand 7 kilometers. That's a long distance. How
yeah.
long until they need to build a new 7-kilometer tunnel?
So I was listening to the article, and they were making it sound like that if you had nuclear power plants, like all the nuclear power plants you would need to power Europe in place of oil, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Completely.
they would be able to, yeah, they would be able to deal with that kind of nuclear waste for something like 100 years before they needed to
I
start a
feel
new
like
site.
I feel like that's plenty of time to come up with better than nuclear options or extra nuclear,
Right.
maybe space nuclear options.
Well, and I'm even thinking, because honestly, if you think about it, heat, radiation, those are unstable forms of energy, but they're energy. And so I even think that we have not utilized the full potential, like the nuclear waste that we're leaving is
Oh yeah.
still filled with potential energy. And so I feel like we'll be able to to use that stuff one day. So even then, like for them to reverse to go back into the tunnels and fish out the nuclear waste that we'll
Right.
eventually use,
They
you know,
figure
I think within 100
yeah.
years.
they figure out how to use the
Oh,
extra radiation for energy, and they're like, well, we have a 7 kilometer tunnel filled with it. I think we're good.
right. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I can't find the name of the. Oh, this is it. The most. Nope, that's not it. Never mind. I got nothing. You can't look up Google. What is the name of the town in Finland that is over the nuclear waste? So
Wait, no.
it's.
That's not possible. It's you're just typing in the wrong things. You type in.
Oh,
Hold on.
nope, I found it. It's called Onkalo, which
Carlo.
is Finnish for pit. So the city's name is Pit. Onkalo. I don't know. I'm not Finnish. So
UNCALO.
Onkalo.
ONKALO. Onkalo. Wow, I got halfway through it and I saw a hazard sign pop up.
Oh, jeez, nice.
Oh my goodness. There are. No, okay. I want to show it on the stream, but I don't want to show anything sensitive, like my personal information.
I gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah, they got the schematic of the tunnels and everything. There it is.
Get.
Oh, for Hun.
Here we go. Look at this. It's a whole system.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Finnish radioactive waste management company Posiva Oy has announced that work to excavate a final disposal tunnel.
I mean, that stuff, when you look at that, it very much is like almost, I don't want to say it is, but like, it's almost like the Hive, you know,
I was gonna
Resident
say,
Evil shit,
is this
right?
Resident Evil right now?
I
Are
was
we gonna
gonna
get
put
a
that
360 shot
theme
of it?
song on. Ding, 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 you know, like, creepy shit, man.
Oh.
Oh man. Well, at least it's starting in Finland and not, you know, in wherever Raccoon City is. So we're good.
That's actually the scary part. Is that Americans were like, of course it would start here in America, but then COVID
yeah.
started in China. I can imagine the
Right.
zombie virus is going to start in Finland or Sweden or
In
Switzerland.
Finland, exactly.
One of those.
You know, the reason why it's put in movies in America is because Americans don't know how to deal with that shit. So they're like, no, zombies, you know. And then, you know,
Right.
next thing you know, you're nuking a city, right? In Finland, they're like, oh no, the zombies are coming. Let's kill them. Okay, cool, and done. The movie's over, right? Like nobody writes
Seriously.
anything about that.
All the zombie movies that start in Russia are 5 minutes long. Oh, look at this asshole! Bang!
Yeah. Kill him! They drop napalm fire across the whole thing. Kill extra people just in case. It's done. Finished, you know. No human rights shit, okay? You know.
Modern day zombie movie in America is, oh, he has autism. Ah!
Next thing you know, the Democrats are releasing something. We need to accept the zombies as people.
Zombies' lives matter.
Something like that. My daughter is a zombie and she wasn't accepted at her school. Can you believe that?
Yes, my child killed my husband, but she still matters. Unless she's only less than 2 weeks in the womb, and then she actually doesn't matter at all.
She's eating your father right now, right behind you. She's eating your father. What do you have to say about that?
Isn't she precious?
She's precious. Oh my gosh. Yes, I want to see that movie. All right. And then right after that, I want the 2-minute clip of when they do the same movie in, you know, like Russia, you know?
Jawohl! Jawohl!
No, you know what?
Credits
No,
roll.
this is even better. All right, you remember how when Trump was elected, he was like America first, and then everyone came out with their own thing of America first, but then the next country second, right?
Right.
Okay, so they should do the same kind of movie for every country, and then just based off of the number of minutes that the movie is, tells you like how bad it is, right? So like in
Yeah.
England, it's a 3-hour movie. In America, it's a
Right.
5-hour movie. In Russia, it's a 2-minute movie. You know,
You could even get more detailed than that. You could be like, well, in New York, it's a 4-hour movie.
right,
In
right. 4-hour
Texas,
movie, right?
in the back country where no one's ever seen a TV before, it's a 30-second movie.
Yeah,
We don't take care of that
right,
shit out
right.
here, boy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, seriously,
Oh,
that would be awesome. Oh man. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah. I remember when I was in Hawaii, my
Yeah.
my leader was building LET, a local entertainment
Okay.
television, and
Okay. Gotcha.
that concept still to this day, like if I ever hear LET is coming to my town, I'm supporting it. I'm going, I'm helping them,
Okay. Gotcha.
volunteering, whatever.
Yeah.
Because what their idea was they were going to create shows that's similar to Friends, but instead of it being a nationwide phenomenon, it's people from your town playing these characters, and then
Right.
and
Right.
that's
Right.
it. That's you. It's the same script, but it's sent out to towns, and they find their actors, they find the people that work well together, and they make it that way. So it's all always local.
Okay. Gotcha. That's kind of cool.
I think sports should do the same thing.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about this somehow. I don't remember exactly what the conversation was, but it was, yeah, it's like we need, not even we need to, it's just you can be more involved and more excited when you hear that your bud is, hitting the touchdown or whatever
Yeah.
goal. I'm not into sports, obviously,
Mhm.
but like you can be way more involved in it when
Right.
it's
It,
more local. When it's some guy I don't like, oh, Cheryl, she's the other American over here for your viewers, like say, and she constantly updates me on football. And it's like
wow.
I've worked with her for 6 years. I think she should know by now. I have no idea what she's talking about.
Oh
And
no.
like,
I worked for Daddy for 10 years, and he
Good.
still talks to me about baseball.
there
But
you go. Okay.
he's
But
also the reason that I realized that local sports would be awesome. Imagine you find out that Arlen is
yeah,
playing
yeah.
third base in the championships of
Right,
our
right.
local tournament. Like you're going to that
Exactly.
game.
I'd be, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And if they
Yeah.
make a little Arlen bobblehead, you kidding? I don't have to be into sports to buy that shit, right? Like
No,
I'm
that's
just
so
saying,
good.
like that could make you money. That could be a moneymaker. I'm not saying, that
Even
that's the only reason that anything should exist, but that could be a moneymaker, right?
no, but even better
So,
than that, like Arlen, he's a talker. He'll get out on that mound and
right,
he'll say, "Give it to me, bitch," or something like that. And then you have T-shirts with Arlen's face
right,
all over it. "Give it to me, bitch."
right. Give it to me, bitch. Right?
That's
Yeah,
that's a
exactly.
town
And it's
phenomenon. That's not just giving him props. That's bringing our entire town together.
right, exactly. And all of a sudden, guess what? We're not talking about politics anymore,
Trump
or at least
or
the red blue
Biden or
politics.
any. It's
Right. We can finally talk about things that actually matter, which is, hey, as Skagit Valleyans, we have issues that maybe Seattleites don't have to deal
yeah,
with. So let's deal with it together as a community instead of saying, and then talk to Olympia. That's the name of our capital, right?
yeah.
Olympia. Yeah, Olympia. Let's talk to Olympia as a community instead of saying, well, we're mostly Republicans, so you should, but instead of saying, hey, we're Skagit Valleyans and we got this
Yeah.
issue of Canadians driving through our neighborhood and not being able to know how to drive right or something like that, because there's things that we really should focus on. And instead, we're talking about this generic this one guy, sorry, I got sidetracked. This one guy, he was showing the demographics of Americans, and he said that if you drew a line down from the borders of North Dakota and Minnesota, so if you go from there
Mhm.
all the way down to about Austin, Texas being on the east side of that line,
So
right?
basically, a
If you
straight line
draw a
down the
line,
middle of America.
yep, straight line down the middle of America, how many Americans do you think live on the left side versus the right side?
What? Oh,
And the
I didn't
answer
expect that
is,
answer, that question.
well, yeah. And
Is it
when you
equal?
hear the answer, no, 80% of Americans live on the right side of that line. 80% of every person who calls themselves American
East Coast?
are Eastern Europe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Eastern
Actually, that doesn't
Americans.
surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. That's where we started,
It does.
and we grew.
I mean,
like
that's fine. I didn't realize the extreme was so heavy because we have that still leaves
That's
lots
a
of
big
Texas,
number, yeah.
that leaves California, Washington, and I mean, so we are a very small
Jeez.
minority. So
That
even
means
when we,
that means when
yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
stuck in traffic waiting for the people that are stopping at the bridge to go over it,
Yeah,
it's like 30%, 20% of everybody.
right.
Guys, get your shit
Exactly.
together. We're the minorities. Let's go.
Shoot. Well, and it's like when you decide you're sitting there in Seattle and you decide you want to be a Republican or a Democrat. Your identity is based off of 80% the shit that's going on over there, right? So if you're a Democrat, you're 80% identifying with what New Yorkers have to deal with and not what you're in Seattle having to deal with. If you're a Republican and you identify as such, you are you're represented by Pennsylvanians and Floridians and East Texans and not
Holy cow.
people here on this side, right? So when these numbers or these things all get established, it's all based off of what shit's going on over there and not our
Right.
actual issues. And so then it's like, holy crap, like I always thought it was kind of ridiculous, kind of cool, the idea of splitting apart, as far as like Washington, California, Oregon, being their own nation kind of thing. But
Right.
in some way, we've got to get our political head straight because we're trying to identify with crap that maybe is actually hurting us because
Yeah.
okay, I'm a Republican, but I'm not a Texan Republican or a Florida Republican because I don't have to deal with Cubans and the Mexican crisis. Like we get Mexicans up here, but as far as Washington goes, like how many of those Mexicans have I actually met that are super violent, right? So okay, I get that down in
Yeah.
Texas, right? No, but I'm saying like if they made it that far north, first of all, if they decided to live in rainy Washington, okay,
You imagine the cartels like, we're going north, boys.
yeah, it's like, well, we live in beautiful sunny Mexico. What's an American counterpart that we could do? Texas, Florida, nope, Washington.
We live
oh my
just
gosh.
south of two of the richest states in the country. Let's go to the third richest. Forget it.
It's fine.
Or
I
whatever.
mean,
I don't know.
never mind the fact that even in California, they got names that are literally Spanish. Los Angeles, San Diego. Like, they're literally
I mean,
Spanish
we got
names.
Anacortes.
That's it. Everything is really just Native American for us. And even regular Americans are like, what? Sammamish? Was
No,
someone drunk
yeah.
when they made that?
Even when I said it, I was like, hey, Cholo, Anacortes, get the hell out of here. You have barely a Mexican name. What is Anacortes?
What is Anacortes exactly? Come on. Oh man. So it's like, okay, so anyway, then our issues are different. Like our issues have nothing to do with like
Yeah.
Texas and the very real thing that, probably a lot more dangerous Mexicans cross that border and they're right there because they
Seriously.
can. So and we're sitting there like, yeah, okay, build a wall because that's what Republicans are saying we should do. But it's like for us, we don't care. We don't give a shit. Like,
Right.
a lot of the immigrants are coming from other countries anyway, right? So it's just I don't know. I feel like if we start seeing that, or doing what you're saying, like community building with sports, then we can
Right.
actually start talking and go, okay, you know what?
It's
I can actually be a Democrat or I can be a Republican, but you know what?
yeah.
I'm going to be a Skagit Valleyan first, and I'm going to deal with the issues that actually exist in our
Exactly.
neighborhood,
This is
right?
this is what I see. I watch videos. Mark Dice. I watch every morning. It's habitual. I don't like his videos necessarily, but he's funny sometimes.
Okay,
Uh,
I gotcha.
but what I see him do all the time is he'll walk up to random people and he'll be like, "Hey, we're trying to sign a petition to make sure white people can't be in Mexican restaurants anymore." And then he just sees how many signatures he can get. It's
Okay,
hilarious, but it's also like, what good are you doing?
yeah. What good is yeah? What's this helping in the world?
But what I see is him going up to strangers and having these
Conversations.
conversations, like these political conversations, these hard topic
Uh-huh.
conversations immediately.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then I also
yeah.
see me and Zach hanging out for literally like 6 hours in the afternoon and then a couple hours the next morning. And we don't agree. He's an
Yeah,
atheist. I'm a Christian. He's a Democrat. I'm a
yeah.
Republican. We argue on
Right,
everything,
right.
but we start
Yeah,
off
yeah, yeah.
as cousins, friends, and family. That
Right, right.
if everybody could start off like that, we could solve every single problem, not just the energy crisis,
Seriously.
not just the abortion crisis, all the fucking problems.
Right. And we could actually represent democracy the way that everyone
Yeah,
around the world has put us up on a
yeah.
pedestal as being, you
And
know.
and
So,
instead of representing Republicans or representing blacks or representing gays, you're just representing yourself.
yeah, yeah,
Imagine
exactly.
just being you and
Imagine.
having your own ideas. Wild. That's crazy.
I don't know.
I
I
love
think
people,
that's a
but I
little,
also think people should have guns. Wow, that's insane.
right. Yeah. Well, and then you don't have to, like, I could get on the whatever, the websites or whatever it is, and talk about how I hate guns, and you don't have to immediately identify me as a Republican or a Democrat in that case. You don't have to identify
How
me as that.
beautiful would that
Instead,
be?
you can continue going into, oh, really? You don't not into guns? Why is it that you,
Yeah.
Mr. Andrew Faber, are not into guns?
What
Well,
personal
for me
experiences have you
personally,
had that make you
right.
uninterested in guns? Rather than,
Exactly.
oh,
And then we
you
can
were brainwashed by a giant spaghetti monster in the sky that teaches you everything.
exactly. Like what the heck? Oh man. Very, very yeah. The follow-up question to all this
Yeah.
is how?
How?
How do we get to
Exactly.
that place, right? Or or how do we
Seriously.
reverse it? Because it feels like I don't know. I don't know. I always say this, but I feel like I say Europe, but the only thing I have to go off of is my own personal experience in Bulgaria, and maybe some friends who lived in Italy and Greece for years, right? But it
Right.
just feels like you don't have that similar existential crisis. When I open my mouth to speak, people automatically assume I take a certain political place, right?
Right.
And that seems to be the case in Europe, but let's just say Eastern Europe, okay? Because that's all I really have to go on. So, how do we get America back that direction? Do we just have to exist long enough? I mean, was Europe like this? 1,000 years ago, when Bulgaria was only like a 200-year-old country and young, were they political activists? And anytime you said some kind of shit, they're like, "Oh, Bulgars, you're a fucking asshole," and well, you're with the steppe people. Ah, screw you. And
Yeah.
and then after like 1,000 years, they finally mellowed out, or after like being oppressed by the Ottomans, they're like, you know what? Maybe we're kind of more alike than we thought we were. Like, is that what that takes? Do we need to get oppressed by the Canadians for like 100 years? Like what's got to happen for us to be like cool with each other again, right?
I see us as like the new and improved Rome, right? And I know it's super ignorant of me to be like, because we're improved, we're gonna last longer. But I actually think
Uh-oh.
I think we're gonna last.
I think
No,
Julius Caesar said this right before the fall. So
I no. Okay, so
we're better than Babylon. We will last forever.
you might
Bullshit.
be
We're
right,
burning.
and I hear doomsday talk from so many people. We're gonna
Uh-huh.
have another civil war. We're gonna get taken over by the Chinese. The Russians are gonna invade and take Taiwan with us or whatever. I think that
I like
because
that.
of social media, because of what we're doing right now online, live to nobody, but it could be millions of people.
One day, yeah.
I
I like that. I like your optimism. Keep going.
I think because of this, it gives us a unique opportunity to make this forced hard turn away from stupid, wrong decisions. A controlled think. We all have to think the same way. We all have to do the same thing. No,
Yeah.
that's that we get the freedom to do what we want, but also there are thoughts being pushed on society that are wholly unholy ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so,
But again, it's because you're trying to broadly paint a brush. Like if I woke up tomorrow and was the ruler of the entire world,
mhm,
and I made a decision that, you know, guns should be made legal, then there's going to be 50% of the world that hates the idea, 50% that loves
right,
the idea. But the 50% that love the idea are going to have about 100 million different reasons why they love it. And the 50 that hate it are going to have 100 million different reasons why
right,
they hate it. But because they, need to gang up together, there's going to be a painted broad stroke of this is why you should hate it or this is why you should
mhm,
love it. And that way they can all gang together to agree with my idea or hate my idea, right?
right,
And that's the problem. I mean, that's what I think the problem is, because America is filled with 350 million people, and I mean that's a lot of people,
yeah,
right? And you're
yeah,
painting
sorry.
this broad stroke, and you might like guns for one particular reason, but it's not the same exact reason as everyone else. But now you've been drawn into this party, drawn into this system where you have to sort of go along with it, even though you're like, well,
Mhm,
I don't actually know what they're talking about. I'm for guns because I like shooting rabbits and eating them because that's what
right.
we do at home. For your particular, I don't know, something like that, right?
The big
So,
one is I'm protecting myself from a tyrannical government, which hey,
right,
I like that perspective because the way the government's going. What I'm saying though is that instead of, because of the way our world is right now, and I know that they're trying to control the internet. You can see it through YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, every single major social media platform. They're censoring the shit out of their stuff. But we
right,
still have, but I still know about it. I still know about it through social media, which means that social
hmm
media is still penetrating the censorship of the higher ups, which means that we still have the
right,
ability to communicate. Which means that instead of a king saying I like guns or I hate guns, we have a community of people, 350 million strong, going, hey,
hmm
I like guns for this reason, and I'm going to listen to you saying you dislike guns for this reason. And maybe
right,
we can find this middle ground where we just like
right,
we regulate guns, but like the best of the best have guns, and maybe the government doesn't control that. Maybe it's a private company that controls that, so that we don't have these yes and no people that are just like yes and no for no reason because they
right,
think so.
right. Right. Well, and then I mean, again, it's when you have these more personal conversations, the reason people are scared of guns and want to
Mhm.
ban them are, reasons because they're not educated in that area. Just
Yeah.
the same as people who have guns who aren't educated might make a dumbass decision. So when you're coming together and you're having conversations, then you can be like, oh, you know what? We don't have to be fearful of them. I get why you want one. I still am not going to use one.
Yeah.
But Gerald over there, who's talking to his napkin, we shouldn't give him one.
Right.
So,
He's
you know,
sitting there
like,
like, I'm gonna kill this bitch. I fucking hate this bitch. I'm gonna fucking kill her.
right?
Hey, when am I getting my gun? When am I getting my gun?
And
Versus
it's like,
the 21-year-old single mother who's like, I think he's gonna kill me tonight. I think he's gonna kill me tonight. You don't have to give her a gun, but maybe give her some protection. Maybe offer
right.
that.
Or if her
Like,
neighbor, you know, decides that he does want a gun to help protect things like that,
yeah,
that's okay.
something.
You know, that's okay.
Like,
You know?
yeah,
So, but
we
if
we
you
can
make
offer
it
services without just handing out guns. We can also give guns to people that deserve them. Like you said, the neighbor. Maybe he's been there for
right,
her every single day. He's not being creepy.
right.
He has a family of his own, and but he feels
Yeah.
protective over her. Maybe give him a gun. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and it's, I think what happens is we get we get like, we don't want to be involved in our community, or we don't feel like we're involved or whatever. So we're like, all right, well, I'm not going to decide that Gerald, the napkin talker, isn't going to get a gun, but you know, John is. And instead we're like, all right, let's just make it a government, and everyone,
Yeah.
you know,
Let me
this
type
big
your name
entity
into the
who,
computer so I don't have to think.
right. And then that will decide this entire political situation, which again is just, it's bullshit. Like,
Which
it's not going to work, because you're
it
just painting a one paintbrush for 350 million people, and it doesn't work, you know?
but it takes
So,
us full circle back to Arlen's picture with the I'm coming for you, bitch,
right.
on it,
Yeah.
and you
Right.
get to talk to the napkin talker, and maybe all he's doing is writing down the names of the people in the video game he's going to kill, right? Maybe he's an
Right.
honorable
Right.
citizen that deserves a gun,
Right.
and you didn't know
Yeah.
that until
Yeah.
you got to know him.
Until you got to know him, exactly. And if he is, you know, clinically insane, then you've still gotten to know him. So you're not taking his gun away and
Yeah,
then leaving him out in the rain. You're like, well, Gerald's pretty nice. I mean, yeah, he wants to kill a bunch of
right,
people, but maybe it's because his dad beat him ever since he was 3 years old, kind of thing.
right.
Let's take care of him now. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Im- Imagine
let's
this. It's a world where Gerald, the napkin talker, is going to shoot up the mall, and that night you decide to invite him over for football.
right. What an
Who's
insane world,
who's gonna?
right?
Yeah. How crazy is that? To just be
Right.
friends with people, even if they're off or weird, they're part of your community.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Ah,
and
jeez.
I'm not. I need to be more like that. I'm saying
Yeah.
all these things. I'm not. I don't invite people over. I don't go to barbecues.
Yeah. And I don't know, because again, I'm coming back to, because I do. I mean, not
You
go
live
up
in
to
a different
random
country.
strangers or stuff, but I know, and that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. What is Bulgaria? I like to say bad things that Bulgaria does. Like, obviously they don't know how to, you know, whatever. But it's like, how did they get to this place where I can feel very comfortable inviting like people to my
I
business? Okay, so here's my
I know
example.
exactly why. You can finish it. I'll tell you later.
So my example is this: we live next to, we lived next to the Change the World Schools building is
Hmm.
next to a medical center, and
Oh,
the
cool.
medical center. Sorry, I forget that the microphone is right here on the laptop.
Change the world medicine.
No, the medical center is right next. Is got pediatricians, a neuroscientists, and something else I can't remember. But
Okay.
the neurology one is important, because a lot of the people that go to this medical center are dealing with like forgetfulness, or you know, stuff like that. They're older people who have amnesia, or whatever that other thing is. Is it Parkinson?
Parkinson's? The
I think
shaky
so.
one?
Anyway, nope, it's the other one. Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's, yeah.
So anyway, this is kind of what, you know, we're next to, right? And so so that means that we will almost on a daily basis have some guy who's a, you know, a little bit off coming in and saying he's lost his way. And
Oh,
my, lovely teacher assistant, she's always good to like, oh, it's okay, it's right over there. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm
adorable.
so sorry. And he's like,
That's
it
so
takes 30
sweet.
minutes to get the guys out of there, right? Because,
Yeah.
but my teacher assistant, at least the one that is that that I give 5 stars over, because she's
Yeah.
the best. She doesn't ever shoo them away because we're not a place
No,
of
she guides
closing the
them
door.
and
We're
helps them the way
yeah,
you would do
and
any student that came into your school. Adorable.
right.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Right, and she doesn't like, even then, like he won't leave, right? She's like trying to go out the door to show him, but he's still in there, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. He won't leave at all. And and it's like, she doesn't push him out the door or anything. She keeps saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's right over there, right? And so this guy will come in. Last week we had a
Is
grandma
it the
come
same
from,
guy,
she was
or is
living.
it just random
No,
people?
no, there was the same guy like 3 days in a row, but it's random people all the time. This
Okay.
one lady came in and she's yelling at my receptionist. She's like, "This is bullshit." I mean, she's translated, right? She's like, "This is bullshit. I've been walking around for an hour," and I'm like, because Gabby's like, sort of giving me the sign like she's swearing in Bulgarian, so I'm like shutting the door so the kids are not listening.
Oh
But
shit! Yeah.
she's she's like talking how it's bullshit. I've been walking around this block for hours and I can't find it. Just call the driver. And Gabby's like, I don't know what driver you're talking about. And she's like, just call the driver. I'm not moving. I swear I am not moving.
Oh no.
Oh, it was so funny. Oh my goodness.
Call. You're looking at your
Oh,
assistant like, call anybody that drives, please.
call a taxi, or just while you're walking with her down to the neurologist, then
Just
she sees
yeah.
it and she's like, oh, there it is.
Keep
Like,
keep saying, "Oh, I'm taking you to the driver right now. He's just around the corner. No, he's right here. He's right here. I promise you. He's
oh man.
and you're free. You'll recognize where you're at and you're free."
Oh, jeez.
Oh
Anyway,
man.
it's just like you got that, and then the not yesterday, whenever Friday was, Stoyanka came by, and she was afraid to come into the building while there were kids in the building, and so I saw her
Oh,
right at the very end as one mom was gathering stuff or whatever. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, I wanted to wait out here." I'm like, "No, this school is about acceptance. So if you come in here and somebody's pissed off that Aroma is coming into the school, they aren't meant to be here."
that's
And
why.
so she came in.
Wait,
What?
that's why
What?
she was afraid to go in because she's Roma.
Yeah. This is a big thing over here, right? Like
I
it's
keep
a
forgetting.
big
That
deal.
is so stupid. That's like a black person not going into a Walmart because
Oh
Mexicans
yeah.
shop there. What is wrong with the world?
Well, and it was just sort of like, like I know what she's trying to do. She was trying to, protect me or my business or whatever. But for me, I told her, and I pulled out the manifesto. I was like, this is a place of diversity, and if someone sees you in my school and is not happy, then screw them. They don't need to be here. Like, this is a world changing place, and that means that you're
The
you're
world,
accepted.
not the
Yeah,
world the way I see it. The
yeah,
world, as flat as it is,
yep. So
or
anyway,
whatever.
or or whatever. Yeah, that was the other one.
That's
Jeez.
crazy.
Anyway, so
Every
yeah,
time
it's
I've run into it's rare, but like Stoyanka, I guess I never saw her as someone that was afraid of anything. I always saw her as a strong, bullheaded, I don't care what you think of me person. I
yeah,
guess because she was protecting you, but still. But I
yeah,
remember
and
I did a
that's just
no.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, only to clarify, she definitely wasn't scared to come in, but she was just
Right.
yeah. It was only for that protection. Like, she was worried that she would be off-putting to my customers or something
Right.
like that, and didn't want that. And it's like, I don't care what Like, I've been inviting the Roma kids to come for free to the lessons, like anytime they want to. So
That's awesome.
anyway, yeah. What were you saying?
I remember I did this play, Back in like 2017, 18, I did
Okay.
Mary Poppins, and one of the guys that was in it,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, one of the guys that was in it all the time, like he was one of the bigger parts. He was gay, and he told me at one
Okay.
point that he was scared to tell his dad he was gay. No, he didn't tell me. One of the guys I actually like every we had a scene break at the same time. We'd go out and smoke cigarettes together. Um,
Gotcha. Okay.
he told me that this guy was gay and that he was scared to tell his dad. And it's like I understand scared to tell your dad, but like he was pretending to be straight. He was flirting with girls.
Right.
He was talking
Jeez.
about how his girlfriend was this and that with me. I was the
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was the retard that didn't talk to anybody and smoked cigarettes in between scenes.
Right. Right. Yeah. Jeez.
It blows my mind the people and most people are comfortable with me, but when those people are uncomfortable telling me their fears, it's like that's a ridiculous fear. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
first of all, your dad is
Well, and
never
then,
going to not love you. He might abandon you, but he's never going to not love you. Like
well,
that's a built-in
and
emotion.
it is. I hope. I can't promise that, but the thing that makes me more sad, I guess, is that when people like that do that to you, and you're just like, um, what vibe am I? Because that was kind of the thing that I was thinking. Like,
Oh,
I'm
for
thinking to myself, what
sure.
kind of vibe am I
Yeah.
giving to Stoyanka with this school? Like,
Right.
does she somehow feel like I'm trying to push her out, or the
I want you to
the
be a
Roma
proper
kids?
white school, yeah?
Yeah, right. And so then it's like, okay, I really gotta evaluate my own self, because I told the kids, the older ones, they that really want to learn English. I told them that because you're old enough to take the bus and stuff like that. My school is right next to a metro, so you now
Oh, wow.
have the freedom to go to a premium private school, and you have no excuse, because you can come, right off the metro. You can come to my school, and you're there. So,
Yeah.
if you want to come, it's
Oh my
free.
gosh.
Just come in,
So you
no
got
problem. And then
you got
that
all
way,
these kids with
yeah,
no excuse. No
no,
excuse.
because that's what I want, right? Like, like
Yes.
there's
I
not
can't
again
make it because
90%
I
of
don't
the
have an education.
right. It's like, okay, that's fine. If you want to use that excuse, then now I have turned it into only an excuse for you. Like, you have the freedom now to be learning as well as these, you know, middle class citizens, that are, you know,
And
whatever. So,
are you changing your curriculum for any of these for anybody? Anybody.
what do you mean changing? Like, in what way?
Like what if someone gets sensitive?
Gets what?
Or you're just teaching the same thing? Sensitive, like the Indians didn't do that. You can't say that about the Indians.
Oh,
You're
well,
just
I mean,
teaching. You're just teaching stuff.
I'm teaching facts. So, like, with
Right.
social studies and science, the only problem with that is that, um, you're going to get backlash on those two subjects, because every country teaches it in a different way. So it's almost like they try and teach science and social studies as opinion subjects, which isn't true.
Yeah.
So I try to make sure to teach them, uh, as openly as I can. Actually, I this last week I did. It was so awesome, because I was talking to the kids. We were going to talk about. I had 10 full kids, 10 kids, so the whole classroom was full.
Nice.
Second to fifth grade, and so I was going to talk to them about wars, because they love wars, right? And I was like, I'm going to show you how history uh, only records the winners, like only records the winners as good guys.
I hate it,
And
but that's how it
and they're like,
works.
no, because we were the good guys in World War II. And I'm like, okay, let's dive in, shall we? And so we
Hmm.
talked about, we started with the easy, good, bad guy, which was Stalin, right? And how
Stalin,
he
not
killed
Hitler.
uh, Russian. Yeah, so he was on our side. Stalin was on our side, right?
Oh yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
it was Russia in World War II,
He was
and
controlled by
Stalin ended
Hitler a
up
lot, though, wasn't he? Sorry,
in
sorry.
the
I'm sorry.
beginning. So in the beginning, he was allied with Hitler
Right.
to together destroy Poland, and then Hitler backstabbed Stalin, right?
Oh.
But Stalin,
Oh.
so Stalin, yeah. So Stalin, one of the good guys,
Okay.
he would, like as an
Wait.
example,
Can,
as
can,
one of the good
go,
guys.
I'm sorry. I know I'm interrupting.
Yeah.
When you say good guys, because Stalin isn't known as a good guy. Like when you say his
Well,
name, my instant reaction isn't, oh yeah, he's like George Bush or George Washington. I mean,
right. It's because afterwards he was part of the Cold War. Like he pushed the
he
Cold
made the
War
right
thing.
decision. Okay.
Yeah.
That-
But so he was one of the three superpowers in World War II on the quote unquote good side. So when you define
Right.
who was on the Allies, you'd call it Soviet Union, England, and America were the three superpowers, right?
So the only reason I pushed into that was because through many podcasts and underground like stories told to me, I heard that Hitler used to go to Stalin and talk to him. He'd get high on meth, and then he'd go to Stalin and talk to him for like 10 hours, and he would talk, and Stalin would listen, and that was it.
Uh-huh. Gotcha. Well, I mean, that's possibly true because he was quote unquote friends with him, and he did like he backstabbed him in a big kind of way when they both took Poland together, and then he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna kill Russians now," and so yeah, big backstabber.
Wow.
But Stalin would like when they took back Russian cities that Germany had invaded. Stalin would go into the towns, think that the Russians there were too nice to the Germans, and completely kill the entire populace of that village, men, women, children. Right?
Stalin did that.
Stalin did that. Yeah.
So he is the bad guy.
For our
Okay.
yeah, for our number one good guy, he was a bad guy. Right? For our number
he didn't kill
two
7
good
million,
guy,
did he?
for our number two bad guy, we can look at America, who, claims to be noble and everything like that. We are the only country in the entire world to this day who has dropped 2 nuclear bombs. And we didn't drop nuclear bombs on military installments. We dropped them on civilian populations and ended up killing over 500,000 Japanese citizens, not soldiers, citizens.
Yeah, but
And
we
we
have
said we
have a
had
g-
to do that
we have a good
for the greater
excuse.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the leader who
Uh-huh.
was totally not going to die someday was like, "I'm never going to stop fighting America," and we were like, "Well, all
Yeah.
right."
So why didn't we drop the nuke on his
No.
home or something? No.
Okay.
That would have been too much.
You want to go real deep? I can't remember
Yeah.
who dropped the bombs, and maybe the YouTube video I watched 10 years ago was wrong, but what I was told was that the dude that the guy, the president, whose name was, what's his name? He dropped the bombs. He wasn't elected. He was
The
vice
American
president. He was vice president. The president got assassinated. He got bumped up, and then he dropped the bombs. He was chosen by the president. The president got killed. He dropped the bombs. Yeah, I mean, talk about the conspiracy of all conspiracies, and it's swept under the
You're
rug
saying
because it's
our
Japanese.
You're saying our president was killed and then he dropped the bombs?
No, I'm saying that the president was killed. The dude that was chosen as his vice president, because you're not elected
Wait,
as vice president, you're
you're
chosen.
talking about American presidents?
Yes.
No.
Okay,
No.
so this was a YouTube video I watched 10 years ago.
Uh-huh. Okay.
What happened?
Did it also say that Canada helped us drop the bomb?
No, but
or
Britain
I
controls
don't
our money.
understand.
Am I right? Britain
It's
controls our money?
true. I used to.
10 years ago?
10 years ago, no.
Oh shit.
It's okay. I mean, I've fine,
No,
man.
no, no, no.
No, it's good.
I'm saying these things because they linger in my mind. I don't believe them, but they linger in
Okay.
my mind when I talk about this stuff, and I need it to be cleared up. It's like cobwebs, all right? So, who
Okay.
was president when the bombs were dropped?
Let me check. I'm checking now.
Okay. I'm looking it up too. Nuke?
Okay. All right. So Truman,
Japan.
he was president,
Truman?
and this was after FDR died.
Wait, was Truman FDR's vice?
The man who became president, Truman, was he was okay. Yeah. Okay, you're right. You're right. So he was, but Truman, or okay. So what you're saying is that he
wasn't elected.
right. He wasn't elected. He just took over,
He
and
was
this
chosen by the president, and he dropped the
right.
bombs on Japan.
Right.
I'm
Right.
I'm
Gotcha.
sorry. I'm so sorry, but that's kind of like Kamala becoming president and then saying Republicans are bad now.
I don't know. I think everyone kind of viewed Japan as bad, and the only reason I say that is because you look at the generation
Well,
that was alive during that time, and they were racist for a couple of reasons.
What
But
year did that come out?
45.
I'm sorry, I don't mean come out.
What year was that bomb coming out at?
What year was that released?
I want you to make some Japanese friends and then say that, okay? Like, when was that bomb released?
No
I
one of
just.
no one Japanese will ever be friends with me. They'll just smell the racism.
Right.
You hate the Asian? Oh no, you just hate the Japanese.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the atomic bomb dropped in 1945. It was, I think, August 1945.
Okay.
Not that matters too much. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, just if you look at all the things that good guys did,
Quote.
then you can see how bad we were, and whatever. So it's just sort of like, so anyway,
Yeah.
I was sharing this,
I know what you're saying.
and the kids were just like, they were astounded, because even for a world war, we've been taught. I mean, Americans are taught a lot of bullshit that other people don't hear, but for the world wars, I don't believe that to
What
be
you
true.
talk about?
We are,
We peacefully invaded America and took over Native American lands. What you talking about?
they wanted it, okay?
They wanted our buildings and technology and AIDS and stuff.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Shoot. Anyway, Anyway, it was just really great, because it's a revealing thing for the kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love teaching science and social studies for that reason, because I remember too, I mean, for years now, years in Bulgaria, I've been teaching with the notion of, in science, saying that there's three major theories. There's the evolution one, which a lot of you have heard of. It's very popular. There's the creationist one, which is that, God came and made our
how would
planet
that
Earth
one fit into
7,000
the
years ago.
evolutionary story? How could God
And then
possibly cause? Sorry, go ahead.
and the third one being the intelligent design theory, which is sort of a mix between the two, where maybe it was God, or maybe it was aliens that created life, and maybe it was 7,000 years ago, or maybe it was a million years ago.
That's the one I like.
And it's kind of like, this is my favorite one.
He caused the
because
Big
then it's
Bang, and
like,
then he tweaked stuff here and there.
oh yeah, for sure.
Making
And there
shit
wasn't any
perfect.
macro evolution, but there was
Yeah.
micro evolution,
Yeah.
because God, they said, and I don't say this in the science, but in the Bible it says God made us in our image, in His image, right?
hmm
And so I'm thinking to myself, if I had the ability to create a world, I would, sort of, I would love to do a chain reaction event where I snapped my fingers and then it caused this
Dude.
thing to play out,
Yeah.
right?
I do that
Like,
1,000
and-
times. I do it
Right?
over and over and
Exactly.
over and over again. But you know which one I would focus on? The one that
Yeah.
looked like me.
Right.
I'd be
I
like, this
mean,
one's gonna be
because those are the
perfect.
ones.
Yeah. These are my
The other
special
ones are going to
babies.
be cool and weird. Yeah, those are your
Yeah.
kids because you're making them like you, right? And then can you imagine when they're like, "Nope, he's not real," and you're like, "Hello, hello."
I'm
Did you see
sorry,
what I just did? I
but
made this planet perfect. Like, if it's off spinning by half a degree, you all die. Did you know that? Hello? No, he's not real. He's not real.
honestly, one of my favorite things is watching a comedian stand on stage and make a confession about how they're atheist and then make some sort of like challenge. And it's just like,
Right,
oh,
right.
yeah, no, because if an ant looked at me and went, "You don't exist," I would crush it, right? No, I would walk away
Well,
because I don't give a shit about the ant. It's
I
nothing.
I guess I will say this, I appreciate how much God loves us because honestly,
Yeah.
if I made the ant and the ant was actually like a little version of me and it looked up and said, "Ha, stupid, you don't exist," I would probably kill that fucking ant, right? Like I know
Right,
that
but
I
that's a
don't
human
have.
weakness we have, right?
Oh yeah,
We
for
we
sure.
all
Like
admit
when
that's a
you talk
weakness.
about no, oh yeah, when you talk about like the love that God has, whenever you hear someone like that, it's like, oh man, you're just showing off how
Oh.
awesome God's love is.
Oh,
Because if it
yeah.
was me, I'd smash you, you little fucker. Like that
Yeah,
is
I never
just so
thought about it that
amazing,
way.
right?
Oh my God,
For
his
me,
love is
that's
so
always how I
big.
see it, right?
My
Yeah.
my love reaches just before you exist. His love reaches
Right.
past it. Oh, that's crazy.
Way past it. Oh,
I
geez.
I never thought about it that way.
Man, yeah, every time someone, because I was just listening to what's his name, although he was funny. I can't remember his name. He's the guy who plays so many
David
dorky.
Cross?
No, let me. Oh, Joe Coy. I loved Joe Coy.
Joe Coy?
Um,
You know who Joe
no,
Coy
no.
is?
Oh, I love Joe Coy, but that's not who I was talking about.
No,
I was talking about
wait.
Patton
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Patton Oswalt. Sorry, Patton Oswalt.
Dude, that guy is so
Yeah.
funny, and he also has
Oh yeah.
he has the #1 dumbest Instagram picture I've ever seen.
Does he?
Yeah, yeah. He has
That's
a
awesome.
picture where his fat ass is wearing a shirt that says "Believe all women," and he's pointing at it, and he has this face that's like, "I'm gonna fuck you up." No, you're Patton Oswalt. You're not fucking anyone up ever.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he's funny. I mean,
He's
because
so funny.
he went on and he was doing the whole atheist thing, and then after that, for like 20 minutes, he's like giving theories about God and Jesus, and I'm like, I don't know, man. It
It's a
sounds like you're a really bad atheist if you're
right,
like processing who God
dude.
might be.
Okay, I listened to Adam Carolla. He has the best podcast because he is a
Okay.
self-proclaimed atheist, and he'll say,
Okay.
"I'm an atheist," and then 5 minutes later, he's like, "Well, that's maybe why God created you."
Right. Like, dude, I mean, are you just trying to do it to counterbalance the
Right?
whole, audience?
Are you
Oh man.
literally trying to get God's attention? You're like, "I don't believe in you, but here are all the reasons I do believe in you."
Hey, are you listening? Oh my god.
That's
That's
crazy.
awesome.
Oh.
Oh man. Jeez.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Okay,
anyway.
Joe Coy. I was listening to a podcast with him yesterday. I feel like
Okay.
it's the first time I've ever heard of this guy, and he's like,
Oh
he
man.
names off, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Like that's a massive stadium. So he says that,
Right.
and then he says like 10 other stadiums that are the same size in different parts of the country. And while he's saying it,
Okay.
he's like, 4 shows sold out here, 2 shows sold out here. At least half of them are 4 and 2 shows sold out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've never
So I
heard of
mean,
this dude.
okay, you've got to go on to Netflix and watch one of his specials because
Absolutely. What's
he
his first one?
is. I don't know what his first one is, honestly, because the one I just listened to, he it was right after the pandemic, right? So he was just freaking out about how. Sorry, it keeps recommending me to watch Joe Coy from Seattle, so I'm trying to find my history. How do you find your history and watch it again? Anyway, wish I could just share it, you know. Oh, I watch a lot of.
Oh shit.
Nope, it's not showing me. Anyway, yeah, you just look him up. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Coming
But
in hot,
he
live from Seattle. Ooh.
coming in hot. Maybe that's the one I listen to. Okay, I'm sorry. He is my perfect he is my perfect comedian because um, he doesn't get too vulgar.
Yeah.
He's not atheist. I mean, he might be, but he doesn't necessarily bring that up. And he just,
My
he's so funny. Oh my goodness,
my
man.
favorite comedians are the ones that are either atheist or agnostic, but they were raised in
Yeah.
a very strict Christian or Catholic home because they know
Oh yeah,
they
yeah,
know all the stuff I was told as a kid. The dumb
yeah,
stuff, not the
yeah,
real stuff, the dumb
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, no, I can't laugh at that.
Oh my goodness. No, and I mean, I'm looking now at like this one gal that I can never remember her name, but she's very like she was Christian, and she's a younger gal. Anyway, she's hilarious too because
Tomlin, right? Tomlin, something Tomlin.
I don't know.
She put one out like a year ago. Taylor Tomlin.
No, dang it! Now I gotta look for her. Jeez.
Tomlinson.
Man, why'd you make me
Tomlinson.
do this?
Tomlinson. She's the one that Abigail
Tom
told me to watch, and she was really funny.
Tomlinson?
Yeah, Taylor Tomlinson. She has two, but the first one was
Ah, yeah,
good.
Taylor. Yep, yep, yep. She is. Yep, she's the one.
So funny. She's the
Oh
one.
yeah, she was.
She sounds like me if I was a girl and actually pursued comedy. I was
Oh
homeschooled.
man,
I'm insecure. I think I'm
seriously.
ugly.
Yeah. Well, it's like she'll say stuff, and I'll be like, "Oh man, if you weren't like the exact copy of me, then that you could be the future Mrs. Faber, except
Right?
that you
I
have
hate
the
that.
same exact issues I have. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the only problem. So
We would be perfect if we wanted to perfectly improve our flaws over and over every day.
oh my gosh, she was saying stuff like, it's just when I get in a close relationship, then all of a sudden I'm right all the fucking time. And I'm like, oh man, I
I
get that. Right?
I have this ability to turn a argument on my significant other. It's insane. They never win. They never win.
Oh jeez. Oh my gosh. Oh shoot. Okay, I gotta save this one for
Yeah.
later because I don't know. I've seen two of his shows now, Joe Coy's. Um,
Okay, yeah, I'm
yeah,
watching
he's
his.
he is so funny. I was watching, though it must have been the hot one, the hot and whatever one. But I mean, most of the time when I listen to these guys, I chuckle, but it's not like they get me rolling. And he had me just
Yeah.
laughing so hard. It was
Jeez.
amazing. Yep, I love that.
And that is kind of specific to what you're into, because like Joe Rogan, I don't know if you know who that is.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
His comedy in 2009, 2012, it didn't just have me laughing, it literally changed my perspective on life, God,
Right.
and how I treat people around me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
like I'm not recommending him to everybody because mostly because Everyone knows who he is, but also because like it's kind of specific to me. Like I don't think
Right.
Aleki
Exactly.
needs Joe Rogan to be a real man.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but
No, I completely get that for sure. Jeez. Yeah.
can you give
I
me
don't
like
know.
2 minutes? I gotta use the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
2 minutes for sure. Sounds good.
All right. Sorry.
It's all good. Sorry. I think he's from Seattle. I mean, I'm just listening to the beginning of his this live in Seattle one, and he's like, "Oh, I'm home." So I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I
It's
mean, again, like 2 minutes of his beginning. So.
listening to him. It feels like I've heard him somewhere, like in a
Oh
podcast,
man.
maybe a movie. I know he does some acting, but
Okay.
he's sound. He is funny.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
this
is
is
hilarious.
this is something else I've noticed is you got Nick Glazer, Michelle Wolf, Whitney Cummings, and
Oh
Amy
yeah.
Schumer. These are female comedians that I find completely unfunny on stage telling their jokes. It's always about their vagina or their period or how am I fucking too many guys or stuff like that. It's very
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
female empowering bullshit. But if you listen to any of them on a podcast where they're just kind of freestyling, throwing stuff out there the
Yeah.
way we do here,
Yeah.
they're the
Yeah.
funniest people in the world.
Really?
They're so good.
Okay.
Amy Schumer in a podcast, I will listen to any podcast she's on because she improvs
Really?
the funniest stuff. She's
Oh my
rude.
gosh.
She's crude. She says the N word. She jokes about lesbians being idiots. It's hilarious. She doesn't care.
Wow. Okay.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's it's her comedy. She builds it for an audience that isn't me,
Yeah.
and it's not
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
And or for me, it's not funny. But these people, you watch them in podcasts or on TV shows, or they're funny. If anything where they can
Okay.
improv,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I've only ever seen Whitney Cummings as a stand-up, and yeah, I did not like her. Um, but and the other ones, I have no idea who they are. So
You're not missing out.
that's cool. 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 Well, I highly recommend Joe Coy, and
I'm checking him out
and
for sure.
that's it. Yeah.
It's crazy that you brought him up,
Very
and
cool.
I just heard about him yesterday.
Okay. I had listened to another one before him because I mean, I don't remember all his jokes, right? But I do remember like the joke he had, which is why his name is Joe Coy. Um, and it's because his aunt uh, called him Joe Coy, and that was his nickname. But it wasn't. Like he misunderstood her because she had an accent, and I mean, I hope that you hear it on one of his things, but it's like she's saying Jokoy, Jokoy, like it's Filipino for like little friend or something like that. And so, but he thought that she was calling him Joe Coy, so but he didn't find out about this. Like, she's in the audience in one of the things, and she's like, "Why are you making this joke? Why do they call you Joe Coy?" And he's like, "Well, because you always called me that." And she's like, "No." It's like, and now he's like talking to his manager, like, "Do I change it back?" And he's like, "What? You can't change it back. You gotta keep it."
This is your name now.
Yeah, right. It's amazing.
Oh,
Oh, I love it.
oh.
Oh, jeez. So yeah. Anyway, I
It blows my mind because you know who Fluffy is?
yeah,
Gabriel
of course.
Iglesias.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
know who Jim Gaffigan is. You know Kevin
Right.
Hart,
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
Right.
Do you know Sebastian
Yeah.
Mascone? Masco?
No. Mm-mm.
These
No.
are guys that they make Netflix specials, but they tour year round. Like they just go to a state, they stay there for a couple months, they do their shows, they go to another state, they stay for a couple months, they do their shows. Like these guys are roadies.
Okay.
I just don't understand how
Jeez.
Joe Coy is on the same level as Fluffy, and I've never heard of
Yeah.
him.
Right. Right. Well, I don't know. Because maybe he. I mean, I'm guessing that the roadies are the old timers, right? Like all those people you named, they
It
started,
feels like that, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like there's with the new things, or with the new guys coming up, there's kind of taking advantage of, what the pandemic did, but then just this whole, you don't necessarily have to go out on the road. You can
Right.
do Netflix specials,
Maybe just
and
put it up online
just
and you're good.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Like you don't necessarily have to be out and about 24/7 kind of stuff.
Right.
So,
Okay, so
um,
yesterday I was listening to a podcast and it was
okay,
with Joe Coy, and he
okay,
was talking about all these. He was describing the amount of touring he does per year, and what
okay,
he could do versus what he does do. Like he could be booked year round.
right.
Um, and what was I gonna say? Shit. So he's talking about he's listing all these dates that he's doing. These are 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 seat arenas that he's selling out for weeks at a
Okay,
time.
yeah, yeah,
And then he goes to Netflix and he's like he's got this special. He's ready to put it out. And they're like
right.
the algorithm is telling us that it's no go, right? And then after he says all these dates, he's like, "What algorithm? What
Yeah,
are you
right.
using? I'm
Yeah,
selling out year round."
that was one of his things too.
Was
Was
it?
he was talking about? He was like, I put out my first special, and all these other comedians are like, Netflix is like, yeah, we want your special, you want your special, but Netflix didn't want my special. And so I had to pay for my own special. And then after I was done, they still didn't want it. And then, because he's doing this as a Netflix special. So it's like,
Right.
no, I'm
On
glad you guys are
Netflix.
here. I can see you execs out there, okay? I get it. Like, oh my gosh. Like this guy is bold too. Like
Oh
he's
my
got
gosh.
specials out now, but he's not afraid to like yell at him a bit. So
Ah,
oh man.
that's so good.
Oh yeah, he kills me, man. Oh jeez.
Chris DiStefano put a special out on Netflix. He recorded it for himself because Netflix said no, and then
Okay.
after he recorded it, they were like, "Yeah, we'll take it." But at the
Okay.
end of his special, he was like, "Yeah." And Netflix said like he had a whole bit about how Netflix said no and how he's just gonna put it out on YouTube and fuck Netflix. But then
Right,
Netflix
right.
bought it and put it up and allowed that to be part of the special.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on, right? That is awesome.
Oh, it's so good. Sometimes
Jeez,
Netflix
seriously.
does make good decisions.
Right. Well, okay, honestly, out of all these platforms, they seem to be the one willing to put up with that. Like, if you talk
Yeah,
shit
honestly.
with other ones, and then at some point they're looking for ways to knock you off their platform. But Netflix, it's like they have their reasons, their algorithms, whatever, but then they change their mind, and even though you just talk shit on their show,
Yeah.
they're still putting you on their show. And that's what I appreciate about them, is that
Yeah.
that they're willing to take a hit or two, right?
They're following
So,
the algorithm, quote the algorithm, but then every now and then they're like, yeah,
right,
I mean, it looks like everyone hates Dave Chappelle, but bullshit.
right,
And then they put
exactly.
it up.
Yeah. So anyway, it's pretty awesome.
God, Snoop Dogg put out a comedy special.
Oh no.
Oh, and I got a 74% match. This is
74%. Oh, of Snoop Dogg?
yeah. Netflix is like, you're 74% likely to like this. I'm not.
Jeez.
I'm gonna watch it as soon as we're done here, but I'm gonna make
Yeah.
fun of it.
Make fun of it. Okay, that's fair. That is fair. Oh,
There's no
jeez.
way he's funny.
Snoop Dogg, yeah. I can't imagine. Or, yeah, nope. I can't imagine. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what it comes down to is education.
I think so, too.
Like
I think so, too.
Snoop would know he's not funny if he'd have gone to real school. I think.
Careful, he might be watching, okay? Just,
And we know you are, Snoop. We know you are.
you are a Snoop.
Snoop D-O-double-G.
Oh, jeez. That's awesome.
I just,
Man.
yeah. It's like, okay, so it's like, I was thinking about this yesterday. It's like, who was I thinking about? Oh, Bill Burr. You know Bill Burr.
I do know Bill Burr.
He's trying to be an actor.
Oh, is he?
No, and he's not half bad at it, so I'm going to give him that. But also, he's kind of the number one comedian, like one of the
Right.
top comedians of our time. Why are you
Yeah.
wasting your time with Breaking Bad?
Yeah, is he doing Breaking Bad?
He was in the last couple seasons of Breaking Bad. He has a cartoon called F is for Family. It's not bad, but it's also a cartoon. It doesn't take a lot of time for him to do. I think someone with that kind of comedic ability should focus on comedy. And I understand the need to be different. I'm not just a comedian, I'm an actor too. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You're amazing at making people laugh. Why don't you just do that?
Right. I'm trying to think of him in that, but I can't think of him in that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've listened to his stuff,
You watch
and it's sort of
Breaking
like
Bad?
Breaking Bad, right?
All of it.
Am I thinking of something?
No, with the
Yeah, all the way to the end, right?
Yeah, okay, so you remember the scene with the fat black dude when he laid down on the money?
Maybe.
He was like, "You ain't never gonna get to do this."
Really?
Bill
Dang it,
Burr was
okay.
there with him, laying on the money. I can't
All right,
believe
I
it.
gotta watch Breaking Bad again.
This is
Shit.
blowing my mind.
I don't even like that TV show that much. I mean, I did when I was like thinking maybe I
Bullshit.
could do. Okay, I kind of liked it.
Wait,
Kind of liked it.
Have you seen Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on the 3rd season, and
Oh, have they? Okay, I've only watched one season, so
8 seasons, 8 seasons. The only reason I keep up with it is because when I go into work every now and then, Rich and JD,
yeah.
they're like spoiling it. They're like, yeah, yeah. Did you see last episode? Oh yeah, his wife totally died, and then he gave away the court case. Like, guys,
Yeah, right. Jeez.
some
Okay.
of
All
us
right.
are caught up.
Yeah.
It's well written. Not Breaking Bad well written, but it is really well written.
Okay. Okay. I'll have to take a look at it.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Other than that, you watching anything?
Sorry, no. I was on YouTube just to, prepare stuff, and then I saw a video, and then it's like, oh, I'm kind of curious now because it's, so Ethereum merged, right?
Yeah,
Which probably
it's
doesn't mean
no
anything
longer
to you.
no
Yeah,
more.
basically you can't. Yeah, you don't make any money. If you can, like right now, I can have the computers making 20 cents a day, kind of thing. So
Okay.
at the
Not
moment,
really
it's
worth
not really profitable. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, and the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin and everything's been crashing, and so all of us in the market are thinking, why? Like, are we crashing because of the recession that's supposed to happen? Like the recession hit officially, but then you got to wait a couple weeks or a month before you sort of see that dive take place in all the different assets, right? So we're asking the question: is it crashing because of the merge, or is it crashing because of the actual recession? And as I'm looking at what's his name, the Vitalik guy who invented Ethereum, right below his video is it's starting the worst housing crash in 40 years, and it's showing the American housing market, and this happened 2 days ago. So then it's like, oh, I really want to see what that video is all about now, because if the housing market's crash has started, then this will be, I don't know, I think it takes 3 to 6 months for the housing market in Europe to follow. So I could get a really good deal for a school in 3 to 6 months, which
You're the
means the timing could be perfect.
you're the Bulgarian Nancy Pelosi.
Oh man,
No,
hate
no,
to
I
say
don't
it.
know anything. I'm just telling my husband stuff.
Hey, I just read the news, okay, man? I am not doing any insider shit. And I'll have you know, many people were telling me that I shouldn't start a school with the war and the recession and everything like that. You know what? This will be more of a like,
Dude.
look at me now, bitches, right? I'm
No.
just saying, right?
Seriously, the best time to start a business that builds up a country, school, church, other
Something else.
stuff, yeah, is during a war. You know,
Yeah.
how, you know how many businesses I see around town that are like ETA 1940.
Right, yeah. No, and it is a good time to start. Wait, are you there anymore?
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry.
Oh, you are there. Okay, sorry. You just went out. Or it went silent. I was like, oh, he's gone. No, but you're right. And I mean, they say too, from a purely business perspective, they say that it's good because it tests the strength of your idea. Like if your idea can stand a recession, then it can stand through anything. But then in a non-business setting, in a simple, we're looking to change the world, this is a perfect time, because at this point, people are aware, kids, parents, everyone that's involved are aware that the world is kind of broken. Like, it's harder to convince people we need to make the world better when we're living in a golden age and everything's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So
It's a booming
So,
20s.
anyway.
It's not like, the world sucks. What are you talking about? I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life.
Right, exactly.
So are my kids.
So are my kids. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Oh shoot. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
Oh man.
I saw this woman yesterday. I was at the freeway entrance next to Hagen's, and
Okay.
there's a woman standing in the median, right in between the on and off ramp, with roses.
Okay.
She's got them in her backpack, and I see her kind of just hanging out. And then as traffic starts flowing, she pulls out 3 roses, pulls out a sign, and then holds them up. And she's not homeless. She's clearly
Okay.
not homeless. She's got a
Yeah.
skirt on with tights and a blouse, not
Yeah.
a shirt, a blouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's holding this sign and smiling pleasantly. And and the first thing I thought was, that's illegal.
Why?
Yeah, exactly. That's the second thing I thought. Why aren't I sitting there giving her applause like you've done something for someone?
Right.
Some people want
Oh,
roses
man.
and don't want to go into Hagen's, and you've provided that service.
Right. Right. Oh, that's funny. That's illegal.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Oh.
Like, what if I went and bought ice cream and took it out to the football field? Can I not sell that ice cream to football players?
Right. Right. Exactly. Oh, jeez.
Maybe charge them a
Oh,
little
man.
extra because I brought it from the ice cream store to them.
Oh yeah. I still remember. I don't know if you remember anything about the townhouse I lived in, but I would go on walks around different places, and
Hmm.
there was one place I went where it was basically like, to get to my townhouse, you had to get off the freeway and you took a left, and
Yeah.
where I
And
went
up the hill.
walking, you would, yeah, and you go up the hill, yeah. So I'd come down off the hill, and then I'd go to the right of where, if you got off the freeway, you turn right, and in the afternoon, that road just got packed up, like line of cars for a mile at least. Like it
Okay.
was packed up, and it was so annoying because that light turned green for about 10 seconds and then red again. So I couldn't even imagine being in that traffic, right? And this little kid, every time I went on a walk, he, he came out with a cooler and sodas, and he just
Dude,
walked down there, $1 for a soda. And I mean, how brilliant was
I
that? Because
love
it's like,
that kid. That kid's a lawyer right
right.
now making 6 figures. That
Oh
kid's
yeah,
a
easily.
genius.
He didn't even have to be a lawyer. He's a soda salesman,
It does-
and he's making 6 figures.
It
Like,
doesn't matter
holy
what he's doing. He's making 6 figs.
Oh man, he's probably hired his friends as employees. They got the whole place like booked up, right? Oh jeez,
Uh,
just genius. And I mean, part of me was like, I want to start a competing business
yeah.
and sell mine for 75. Like, it's such a brilliant idea. Oh man, jeez.
So
Anyway,
like
that
a
was
month ago, this guy, I go into there's 2 gas stations near my work I go into. And at the end of the day, I went in, and there's this guy. He came just out of the pandemic. He got a job, much like. Oh, you're good.
Hang on a second. Sorry. Hello. Hi. Okay, yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay, if you push, type in 14 and the bell, I can let you in. Entrance 1.
You gotta go.
Yeah, entrance 1. And then 14 again. Yeah, just push 14. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Awesome. Floor 4 from the elevator. 4. All right, sounds good. Thank you. Bye. Sorry.
You're good.
I didn't eat. I didn't eat anything,
Oh,
and even though I need to go to bed at some point, my stomach is literally spikes in my stomach, and I'm like, ah, like I gotta go to bed in probably in about 30 minutes or so. But I thought I don't need to eat, and then it's like I got such strong pains. I'm like, I know I gotta eat. I have to do that. So anyway,
that's
just a second.
no worries.
I can hear you. It's just I forget my microphone's over there. Or can you hear me? Normal?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Hi. Yes. Thank you very much. You too. All right. Bye. Ciao. Okay. I didn't realize my headphones connected to also to here. So
I didn't realize that my microphone isn't actually my microphone.
oh, nice. Well, usually I have these headphones hooked up to the phone, but now it's up to the
Oh,
whatever. And I thought, okay, it doesn't work. Like I have to stay near the laptop because these are the Bose headphones and the whatever. I didn't think it worked. So
yeah.
every time I walked away from the computer, I thought, oh, I got to shout so he can still hear me.
Okay.
I wondered why you were, reacting the way you were. Whatever.
Why is he bringing the energy up every time I walk away from the computer?
Yeah, right. Oh, jeez. All right. Since I'm eating this stuff, I mean, I'll let you talk more, but I have to bring it up real quick. You remember a number of months ago, I bought teriyaki chicken wings that were just like so good. Like they were just
Yeah,
delicious.
it's the burger joint, breaded teriyaki.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have it
right?
written down here.
So
Been looking at it.
the burger joint changed into Brunch Burger, and they have made a teriyaki chicken burger. So
Oh,
that's
wait.
what I eat now.
Please tell me they don't put pineapple on it.
Oh, hell no. Why would they put pineapple in it?
That's what Red Robin thinks a teriyaki chicken burger is.
Seriously?
Yeah,
That's disappointing.
barbecue sauce, chicken, pineapple.
Wow. No. Only good stuff, man.
I have been on a food binge since January.
Okay. Same.
Just trying to get as fat as I can. They got like okay, so first of all, the net. I'm just gonna put this out there. If you are road tripping through America and you come across a kiosk that sells burgers, stop and get a burger. I guarantee you, it's gonna be amazing.
Nice.
On top of that, if you're just like hungry and you know a Hagen's is nearby, get a sandwich from there. A full ham sandwich, not a half. The halves are disgusting. The halves, they put Sahara Desert enhanced bread over the meat. It's terrible. But if you get a full sandwich, a full ham sandwich, oh, it might be the second best thing you ever eat besides the burgers from those random kiosks.
Oh, man. That sounds awesome.
I'm really hungry right now.
Me too.
I hate you.
I'm so sorry. Okay. So I've been trying to do like a lot more efficient, like cost-effective foods. Because like, okay, it's the weekend, so I'm doing this French burger thing, and it costs like I don't know, what's 15 of this, like $7. So it's pretty expensive.
Mhm.
So, but I need to find stuff that's more cost effective because if I'm going to be, you know, living on donations or just having a lower salary in general, I got to make sure to, you know, sort of match that, right?
Mhm.
And it has been awesome because we go to Stoyanka helps me out a lot because she does that like on a daily basis. But we go to all these different Bulgarian places. So the other day we went, and this is the way I'm going to explain it to Americans, which is imagine eating crepes, and instead of crepes with like, you know, ice, whipped cream and strawberries, it's crepes with cheese and ham, and then roll it all up. And think of the crepe as being about twice as big as you normally would have it.
What? Hmm?
And then they'll add mayonnaise and mustard to it if you want to, right?
Well,
But
okay.
it
Oh.
is so good. And you are paying, like, you get one of those, that will be a meal. Like, that's how filling it is. It's a very filling meal. And it will cost you less than $2. So
Yeah. All right. This is good joke. You're funny. All right.
I love Bulgaria, man. I
Can we
love
talk about
Bulgaria.
real food? What do you serious? What
Okay.
is this a? Is this like a truck or
Is
like
this
a?
like the truck?
Is this like a truck? Is it coming from? Is there a taco? I don't know what it's called.